Hi, I'm Alexander Turnbull from Wren, Paris and Adirondacks. Today I'm going to do some styling with you today and one of my favourite wigs. I love this style. This is Wren. Okay, so let's have a little talk about Wren first. Why is Wren such an amazing style? Well, I love it for a number of reasons. First, the curl pattern. The curl pattern itself is really cool. You know, it's kind of that really broken, kind of shattered curl pattern. Just really nice, even out the box, you know, we've got this kind of look like this. It can be brushed, can be softened, so I love that. I love the bangs, because I really like how that frames the face a little bit, but also can be worn to a side or fuller. And I think the flatness and where it's straighter to the root and the mid-length is just perfect. So this style is going to work perfectly with the Wren. So this colour is Watermelon R, guys. I like this. The R stands for the root, so we've got the rooted tone. And all of this wonderful shade running through these great colours. So it's going to look awesome for what I want to do today. So I'm just going to pick up a little brush that I've got to a side. Okay, and first off, just with one hand on the top of the wig to hold it onto the mannequin, I'm just going to brush this style through. Now what we're going to do today was, by request, somebody would like to see a 60s inspired beehive / bird's nest was the kind of vibe we got. So for me, what we need to do is something 60s, probably work with all of this as this is going around the face because that looks gorgeous. I'm probably going to concentrate on maybe keeping some sides down, taking this back, leaving this gorgeous length in the back and giving us some height up top. And at this stage, we can use a little bit of Revive from ROP, which is just amazing. Now this is like a leave-in conditioner that reworks and refixes your wig. So what I have here is I have a little bun ring, okay? Donut, some people call them. It has a hole in the middle, like a donut. And I'm just gonna use mine as a pad. Okay, so when I say a pad, I'm going to probably position this around about here because I don't want too much body in here. I don't want it to be effectively like, because it's a half up, half down, I don't want all the length down here and then all the height up here. You know, we want to still keep it cool and we want to use an element of the 60s to give us our look, not a copy of the 60s. Gripping these bobby pins in at the base. You know, you want to get it tight, but not too tight. Just give it a little shake. So what I'm going to do here now, just taking the back combing brush, and by the way, this was a question that was asked to me some time ago about back combing and wigs, and is it safe? Okay, so in anything in life, less is more, you know, and don't overdo things. I'm using a very soft back combing brush, okay? And I'm not really scratching it. I'm just, if you can see here at the root, just a very light bit of teasing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I'm using a bun ring as well. So I don't have to over damage hair and fibers. What I'm actually doing is I'm using the pad underneath to create that. Could I create that just with hair? Of course I could. And I really could backcomb it, but we don't want to compromise the condition of the wig. Okay, so a little bit of teasing is okay. But you know, something that's not, you know, gentle. So we've seen the head from the front, using those wonderful curtain bangs. Now, let me show you the little trick. So what I've done is I've combed this over the top of the bun ring, okay? The hair pad. Now when you feel you've got a coverage of the pad that you're happy with, then grip it in. Now, some people like their bumps, pads, beehives, whichever you want to call it. We'll call ours a mini beehive. Okay, so our little mini beehive, some people like them really dressed and smooth. You can see some pictures and references. Like the really smooth ones are very, very indicative of the 1960s. You see some that are more broken up. That's probably a bit more of a modern twist on it. So I'm going to break mine up a little bit. I'm not going to make it over modern and big, but I don't want to make it a carbon copy of the 60s either. I want to try do something somewhere in between. So if you just see with my fingers, guys, I'm just pinching that together, you see? Okay. And then what I do, okay, so I'm just pinching that together, and then what I do, just with a clear band, just lift, look at the mini hive, and then look at that, guys. That looks awesome. But then what I want to do, like I said, I want to break it up a wee bit, not a ton, just a little bit. So I'm just with my fingers, just pulling the hair a little bit through. All right, and what we want to do now is to incorporate the sides. Do we want to leave some sides out? I think maybe so. So now what I'm going to do is build it into the mini beehive. Now I can add this, ladies and gentlemen, I can add this to the mini hive, but I think if I keep doing that, it's going to be a bit too big. So I think what I want to do is to incorporate and bring these sides in, like drape these sides in, okay, and keep building them up. And if you remember, we still have the little bump and the band in there, so we probably want to move some sections over the top to hide that. So let's do the first one. And remember, with hair up, guys, less is more, okay? You know, hair up is awesome, but it's very, very easy to try do a little bit too much. And if you ever look at the red carpet and look at the celebrities and how they're wearing it, they very, very rarely overdo their hair, you know, because ultimately, if you think about it, these Oscars shows and the red carpet shows, people may look at those pictures in 100 years' time. So the celebrity hairdressers are very clever in trying to do timeless hairstyles, i.e. that don't look dated for the celebrities. So, you know, we're going to do a little bit and adopt a little bit of that kind of formula for our styling today. So you can see I've just draped that hair over that side, and now I'm going to pull her forward again. So we start seeing the shape building together really, really nicely. Again, with the tail comb, okay, the tail comb, like this, lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, and what I need to do is lift this hair up on this side here. Okay, so that hair on that side was the ends from the last area. Now, I just want to look and see, does that give us enough draping to have a similar shape? Yes, it does. But what I need to do is I need to lift this area up. So, if you have the luxury of working in a mirror at home, I really suggest having a mirror in front of you, especially when you're working on hairstyles that require balance. That really helps. And I mean, I just every now and again come and have a little look from the front and make sure that we're on the right track. And if I'm happy that we are, then I carry on building. So you see that there is the mini hive, the mini beehive. I've put a securing pin in there just to connect. And what I'm going to do now is I'm wrapping this next piece of hair, and I just want it to finish just under there. So can you see what I'm doing here, guys? Look, just holding that in place with the pintail comb, okay? Holding that in place with the pintail comb. The pintail comb is your friend. And then I'm just opening a bobby pin. And then I just slide that bobby pin in to the base, and then I'm just coming to the front again. Okay, now can we scrape all that off? Yes, we can. Now when we scrape all that off from the front, I feel that that is extremely 60s then, you know? So I want to kind of break that up a little bit. So it's almost like we're doing hair wrong to do hair right, if that makes sense. So we're kind of going to leave a few little pieces, little tendrily kind of soft pieces coming to the side. Now I think that's better. So you see how I changed it, guys? Immediately I was kind of thinking, you know, shall we leave that much out there, or shall we take that one in? Out or in? So I'm going to leave it, I think it looks better in, but I'm going to leave it out because I can always put it back in. But if I incorporate that big piece of hair into this section, and then I decide that it was better before, I'm going to have to take the whole section out. So I'll collapse the whole hairstyle. So that's what we're not trying to do. We're not trying to collapse the whole hairstyle. Again, you see guys, I'm gripping this in. So just holding that with, again, another tail comb, a larger tail comb. There's no right and wrong pintail comb or tail comb that you could use, just what kind of feels right for you, I guess. Leaving some more tendrily pieces out here. So one more section, all right? Remember, this is a half up, half down, 60s inspired beehive hairstyle, okay? And this was by request. So I'll just remind you guys again, if you do have any requests that you'd like me to do, or any requests that you'd like, say, you know, any of my social sisters, Danny and Abby, anything you want them to see from them, please put it forward, because we read all the comments and they really do help us when we're looking for inspiration to try, you know, show you guys what you'd like to see. I don't want that hole in there. So I'm now going to redress these ends a little bit, okay? So before I actually put any hairspray on at all, and I am going to use a little bit of hairspray today, but before I put any hairspray on at all, what I need to do is to put some securing pins in the areas which I want to cover. So I love all this detail here. I think that looks really lovely, really cool. We want to keep some softness in there, but not soft where it looks a mess. So at this point, it's a bit of arranging, all right? So you know, a bit of the Revive just brings her fibers right back to life. Before I put any actual hairspray to secure it for the night, I'm just going to put a couple more holding pins in there. My grandmother was a hairdresser, ladies and gentlemen, and my grandmother would have used all of these things and stuff. And then when I first started in the hair industry over 25 years ago, I was using all of these, and then, you know, then I don't use certain things for a while, and then all of these things come back. So I use a lot of securing pins in my work now, and I used to use them 26, 27 years ago, and then kind of using them a lot more now. So I'm going to put those securing pins in there. I have a little bit of the ROP hairspray here, okay? So this is just perfect for, you know, just a final finish. You see all my detail all in here? A bit of protective holding spray, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of protective holding spray. Now let's give that a minute. And we're just giving that a minute just for that spray to take effect and just to lock in. The moment of truth. I'm now going to take the pins out, okay? And I start in the order that I put them in. So I remember I put that one in, that was one of the later ones. Okay. Oh, it's like Jenga. Okay, but we just hope that it all doesn't fall down afterwards. But, I mean, I do see a lot on social media sometimes with some wonderful hairstyling out there, but sometimes we don't always see the pins come out. And I think, oh, I hope that stayed in when those pins came out. So I'm not going to do that with you guys. I'm going to show you the pins coming out in real time as it actually works. And that is how it works, okay? So I've set the style in. I've done the little mini hive, and I think it worked. Let me take it off so we can just have a look. I think it looks great when we're just when we're looking at these kind of different 70s and 60s and 80s and 90s and 1920s hairstyles. They're all different, but we've given them a modern twist by either having something modern like the colour, which is this one, which is the watermelon R, or, you know, having a really modern style. So today I've done a half up, half down, 60s inspired beehive using Wren in the colour watermelon R. I hope you've enjoyed today's styling, and if you have, please leave some comments down below. We'd love to hear what you guys think and what you'd like to see next time. But until next time, thank you for tuning in. I'm Alexander Turnbull. Remember, follow us on all forms of social media. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.